sorority is, I think, very much like another club or organization, but what sets fraternities and sororities apart would be their philanthropic partners. Every fraternity and sorority has some kind of philanthropic partner that's very important to them, and I think also the ritualistic aspect of it. So a lot of fraternities and sororities within like Panhellenic or IFC were created back in the 1800s, and so they've been around for centuries, and a lot of times our traditions are passed down by word of mouth, and so they're never written down, and just little things like that make it a little bit different than just a regular club or organization. Which I think is, you can take that so many different ways, but when I think about everything that a sorority experience gave me and what it gives back to a lot of women, it's the connections that you make with people and the people that you get to look up to. So I think many times when our first year students join sororities, they look up to the juniors and the seniors. They're good role models for women on campus. It gives them something to look forward to. You know, academically maybe they have sisters that are in their program that they aspire to be like, or for me, my big was a role model for me and just how to be a mature college woman. And the sorority and my sisters definitely helped me develop my leadership skills. You know, because I had this group of women that was always pushing me to do better and take on leadership roles in the community and in the sisterhood, I grew into myself, and I feel like I grew into a strong leader on campus, and I think that's the whole point of these organizations. There's a reason why men aren't allowed in any sorority activities, and it's because these organizations exist to help us promote one another and build each other up. And I think that's especially important when you look at the climate today of just the United States. I think, you know, bare minimum, women still don't make as much money as men do doing the same types of jobs, and so I think we need a spot where we can empower one another and let each other know that we believe in each other, especially because a lot of times women are critical of each other, and so I think it's amazing, especially on college campuses, to have spaces where women can be themselves with each other and they're not being judged. I feel like when you do fraternity and sorority correctly and you are not afraid to hold each other accountable, you can do some pretty amazing things, and you stay out of the news and people recognize you for all the good things that you do. So
Philanthropy is an organization that each national fraternity or sorority has chosen to be affiliated with, and those philanthropies can range from something like Children's Miracle Network to a variety of other organizations. And really the goal of that is so that the students that are involved in those organizations can have something to sort of give back to. So on our campus at SLU, each organization has a philanthropy and typically does a philanthropy week to raise money, but it doesn't really just stop there. Many of our organizations do service in addition to the philanthropy with those particular organizations or those groups of students to really get out into the greater St. Louis community, local communities, national communities, to really participate with them. And I think the overall goal is to really to give back. And I think when you think about what SLU is, when we think about men and women for others, the national organizations, our fraternities and sororities, really partner to be able to do that. And that to me is what the philanthropy means when we think about our fraternities and sororities on campus.
When I first came to SLU, I didn't want to join a sorority. I pretty much thought that they were full of a bunch of like fake girls who just wanted to get together and I don't even know what, like dress up and go to parties and drink all the time.
I think the most frustrating part about being in a sorority is the kind of backlash that we get. A lot of my teachers, like a good handful of them, make comments about Greek life in a negative tone. A lot of them say, like, oh, when you go to your toga parties or when you binge drink on the weekends all the time, and that really isn't what we do. A huge part of why I joined a sorority was for the service aspect. Last year, my sorority raised over $18,000 for our philanthropy, and that oftentimes, like those accomplishments oftentimes get overlooked because there is such a negative stigma with Greek life. I strive for a diverse group of women because when you're surrounded by other opinions and ideas, you tend to grow more in yourself and you become the best version of yourself, and that's really what my chapter strives to do.
Being in Greek life, particularly the chapter that I'm in, I think so many of the women are involved in different activities at SLU, and that's been such a driving force in motivating me to want to get out there and do so many great things and impact, try to impact the community, because I know how much they impacted me. And so seeing as SLU being a Jesuit institution, service and giving to others and serving others is such a big role. I think that my chapter, and in particular Greek life, gives you like a lot of opportunities to do that and to give back and to be a part of a community. Yeah, I think, well, first off, Greek life at SLU is, I think, a lot different than other schools as well, but regardless, I would just say that when people have a bias towards Greek life, it's unfair in my opinion, because I think that you have to give everything a chance, and especially having lived Greek life or fraternity and sorority life, I have so much respect for all the women in my chapter, and really we're not any different from another organization. We just maybe do different activities than that organization, but overall, it's just that those stereotypes are unfair because it's not the way that it's portrayed in the movies. That's drama and that's for entertainment, whereas the reality is that we're a group of women that we have common values and common goals, and we come together to support each other and to get through our lives as best as we can, and to give each other what we can and the tools that we can give each other in order to do that as best as we can.
We could do this all night.